Hi, I'm Brian. I'm a copywriter and the author of How to Write a White Paper in One Day. And in the next few minutes, you're going to learn 4 ways that watching movies can make you a better white paper writer. But here's the catch. To learn anything from a movie, you really have to pay attention while you're watching, okay? None of this scrolling through Reddit on your phone. If you're new to white papers or aren't really sure what one is, right now, go watch my short video called What is a White Paper? And you will find out. This movies to white paper comparison is not a joke because a good white paper has a logical structure that takes you from beginning to end. It's a lot like a well-scripted movie. And when it costs more than $1 million a minute to produce a major motion picture, you know they are paying careful attention to the structure of the story. I'm guessing there are movies you don't like because they have plot holes, or they just seem they seem to jump from scene to scene without a sufficient connection, or they just don't tell a very convincing story. Well, a lot of white papers suffer from very similar problems. Number 1, as you're about to watch a movie, ask yourself, why do I want to watch this? It may star an actor that you like, but you know good actors can pick some bad movies. Chances are that the movie has a premise you find interesting and compelling. How about this? A scientist uses DNA to resurrect dinosaurs, which escape and cause mayhem. You tell yourself, I gotta see this. Or, on the other hand, you could watch a movie that's about an older lady living in her van and working odd jobs and sleeping in her van and working for Amazon and visiting some people and going back to the van. Yeah. The cinematography may have won awards, but you're still saying, nah. In the same way, the topic of your white paper, what you say in the title, has to be something that makes your target reader say, I gotta read this. You need to touch on their highest hopes or deepest fears and not bore them. As the movie begins, you meet the main characters, you learn about their challenges, and you consciously or unconsciously receive a promise. For the movie to be satisfying, in the end, it must sufficiently solve these problems and meet your expectations for resolution. The villains are dealt with, the protagonist achieves their goal, and the characters have grown beyond their initial limitation. In the same way, your white paper must keep its promise to your reader. If at the beginning you grab their attention by talking about one of their biggest business problems, by the end of the white paper, you must give them a satisfying solution to that problem. Don't make promises you can't keep. Really good movies have really good villains. They not only oppose the hero, but they are strong enough and clever enough to stop him. So when he or she must rise to a new level to defeat the villains, it makes the story more believable and more satisfying. So in your white paper, you don't have villains, but you have objections against the solution you're proposing. If you can bring up and deal with really good arguments against your premise, you'll have a very good white paper. As your target reader is reading it, they're thinking of strong counter arguments to what you're trying to sell them. So you should boldly bring up the best of these counter arguments and address them on your terms. In a good movie, every scene must have a point. It must tell us something important about the characters and move the plot forward. Even an action-filled chase scene can seem boring if it's not really necessary to the story. I mean, tires might be screeching and explosions are going off and stuntmen are diving all over the place, but you just feel like fast forwarding. The same thing can happen in your white paper. There's a temptation to include everything the marketing committee agreed should be in there, but it could be just a lot of stuff that your reader doesn't really care about, or at least not yet, because they're not convinced they should even consider buying from you. So if you include information that is not necessary to your logical progression toward your conclusion, your reader will quickly become uninterested, or they might just start to skim, or they just might stop reading. So by trying to shoehorn a few cool things into your white paper, you've just wrecked its effectiveness. So be ruthless when you're cutting things out that don't lead to your conclusion. Okay, that's it. Watch movies with an eye to their structure and use what you learn to write better white papers. If you need to write a white paper right away, I have links to resources below that can help you do it today. So, thanks for watching.